Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sean Treadway here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. Haven't done this before, but I'm doing a effects breakdown. I shot a music video a few weeks ago for the band Robert Shredford, and it looks a little bit like this.
Pardon me, are you the queen? Oh yeah. May I have a spot or two? Oh yeah.
So I was responsible for the cinematography and the effects work on it. So I did all of the green screen key work and all that kind of stuff. Also did a little bit of the editing, just a few parts that need a little tweaking to make things work out. So today I'm going to show you how to achieve those kind of backgrounds and what you can do to kind of like customize your own thing. Super easy, super simple. So I just wanted to show you real fast the backgrounds by themselves, just so you can kind of see what they look like without all the overlays and the camera movement and like the scale ins and stuff like that. So this is the one that you see a lot throughout the whole thing. I don't know why it's like lagging right now, but pretty basic and nothing too crazy about it. Then I did a few different kind of kaleidoscoping looking backgrounds. So that was pretty much the entire music video. All the backgrounds were basically just different versions of this. So I just wanted to give you a few ideas of how that looked without like the final edit applied to it. So let's go ahead and open up After Effects. So you want to figure out what kind of vibe you want first and foremost. For Robert Shredford, they wanted kind of a surf feel, kind of a 60s to like 80s feel. I kind of racked my brain and came up with using the hibiscus flower as kind of a background. It's very pretty, it's very bright and kind of surfy, and you can do a lot with it apparently. I didn't know that until I started working with it. So all I did is found a hibiscus flower just because I liked the symmetry of it and I knew I could like rotate it and do cool things with it in the video. And that's pretty much exactly what I did. Every single background that has a flower in it was this photo. And I just found a basic PNG, so it had a clear background, made it super easy. And then I just went and found like a very simple shapes and colors background. Honestly, you could probably do one of these yourself if you really wanted to. It's not very complicated. I just was kind of pressed for time, so I just went and found one and it worked fine. So once you find a few elements that you want to use for your video, you can really start experimenting. And for me, I threw a nice solid behind it, solid color. I used this kind of medium royal blue, as it says. And then I brought down the opacity so it wasn't so strong and kind of faded into the background a bit. So for that first one where it's just rotating, that's literally all I did. I just keyframed the beginning, and then I think I only did like a 10-second roll and just let it spin a few times. And then as you saw in that one, I also just copy and pasted it a few times and just did that around the border. If you really wanted to, I kind of like did transform. You can right click, transform, flip vertical, flip horizontal, whatever. So they each of them have kind of a different look to them, so they're not all the same. So once I had all this figured out, I went into my effects library and I just have a bunch of overlays in it. So I just went on YouTube and found a bunch of just old videotape overlays and stuff like that. I forget exactly which one I used, but you can find whatever one fits your aesthetic and use that. There it is. Okay. So I got this one with a lot of heavy color aspects in it. Just because I added another layer of brightness to everything. So go ahead and do screen on that. And that's pretty much that background. I'll pull it up again so you can see it kind of side by side. So for this one specifically, instead of using a plain background, I actually used a guy surfing as the background. So it has a little bit of movement, but you can really do whatever you want. And I just layered it. And then you can see that I mosaicked the last 4 flowers there. So all the duplicates here, I just went over to the effects tab, mosaic, copy it across all, and there you go. Basic effect accomplished. Obviously, you can change the intensity of the mosaic so it's not so blocky. But that's pretty much it. So after that, I just did a final adjustment layer and added grain just to bring everything all together, and use the preset. I think I used the Kodak Vision 320T and just boosted the intensity on it and just kind of messed around with it until I got what looked good to me. And I think I also used monochromatic. And that's that background right there. For the other backgrounds, the kaleidoscoping ones, this one actually surprisingly is even more simple than that first one. I just wanted something that I could keep using and just changing certain effects or certain parameters within the effect to create new backgrounds. That way I could pump out 5 or 6 different backgrounds and kind of change them out throughout the music video. So let's bring our hibiscus back in. And then this one, I'm just going to do a basic background just to show you the overall idea of how I got the look, not necessarily a step-by-step process to do it. From here, you should be able to do however you want, but I'm kind of just doing an effects breakdown of the music video itself for this. But in your effects tab, you have a kaleidoscope or CC Kaleido. Apply that to whatever you want to be kaleidoscoped. And it instantly does this, which is not very good looking. And you can do this with video too. There's a scene where I had just hands clapping. So this was actually footage of the keyboardist doing his clap part. And then I just kaleidoscoped it and it got this look, which is kind of a fun background. So you can really use anything you want. You can layer it deeper and deeper. You could push a camera through it. I just wanted to keep it simple because that's what the music video called for. So for the music video itself, I ended up using flower and starfish a lot. Starfish is probably the one I liked, or starlish, I guess, not starfish. And then just blew the size up until you could see the edges, and then scaled the entire thing up so it filled the sides because it wasn't 1080 to start. Because it's just a square photo, I have to scale it up to fit, and then kind of just adjust it to wherever you like. So all I did with the rotation is keyframed it in and out, rotated it a few times until I got some cool looks. And that's the majority of the music video right there. Of course, I went into more detail and messed around with it, and then also added, my sweet overlays, just so it had some kind of texture to it. But really, you can do anything that you can think of with this thing, and it creates a really cool look. One of my favorites was I went onto YouTube and just found a bunch of drone footage of highways. So yeah, just a bunch of drone footage of I think it was Atlanta. So this shot in particular, I ended up using for a lot of the Queen aspects. So whenever they're talking about royalty, and they had this own part where they're wearing capes and crowns and stuff in the music video. So I wanted something different for that. And because it was a little bit differently toned during that part in terms of lyrics, I wanted something that was its own unique thing. So I found all these night shots of the Atlanta highway system and threw Kaleido on it, and then scaled it till I liked the look of it. And then again, just animate the rotation slightly. You don't need a whole lot or else it'll get really crazy. But that's it. And now it looks like jewels. That kind of looks like something. Actually, I don't even think I rotated this one because there's already movement. Yeah, there's already movement in the footage itself. I didn't really feel like I needed to add more movement to it. So whenever you see this shot in the music video, that's what it is. It's actually highways with cars driving, and it looks like little jewels, and it looks very very royal to me. Like you could see that as like a carpet or tapestries on the wall. So that's how I got that effect. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of it was all just basic green screen work. I used Ultra Key here in After Effects, or not Ultra Key, Key Light. Ultra Key is in Premiere. I used I used Key Light, Jesus, and just dynamically linked from Premiere to After Effects. So all the shots, when I did anything to them in After Effects, it automatically updated it in Premiere, which is kind of handy. It has severe render times though, so if your machine can't handle a bunch of linked footage, that's also like I had to nest a lot of it to put the groups together, like that 9 shot. Once I created the background, and each of those are a 4K image, which was stupid. I should have shot in like 720 for each of those because it really didn't need that much information, especially when you shrunk it down that small. It was essentially like trying to process a 12K image with a animated background and overlays and stuff. So you really have to kind of think with your machine, basically what it can handle. Mine, I got through it. It was like an 8-hour render for the final version. But I think it turned out really cool. I'm really happy with it. Again, if you want to take a look at it to see it in its full beauty, go ahead and look at the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.